Dude, I got asked for like, man, all kinds of weird, can you make announcements about some guy just had a heart attack? He needs, does anybody have this medication or whatever? All kinds of weird, weird things like that. And that would happen all the time, man.
What's up, humans? On today's episode of Windy City Joes, we talk to a very incredible human being. His name is Mike from Mike and the Moonpies. They're out of Austin, Texas, kind of, because they're originally from Austin, Texas. They've been around. They are the best. He is the coolest. He has the coolest sunglasses and get up. Yeah. Is that trendy?
No.
Like, do you think people will understand what I'm saying by the word
get up? Get up. You know what I mean? No, actually, now that I'm saying it out loud,
see what I'm saying?
Yeah, you don't. He's got
He wears very cool clothing,
sense of style.
Yeah, he has good style and good music. Imagine that.
Yeah, hand in hand, right there.
Yeah,
two great things.
Better than this intro.
Better than the way we dress. Look, I'm wearing like board shorts and a hoodie.
Look how pale my thighs are.
My tan lines go to here. We're losing focus.
Yeah, sorry.
Mike and the Moonpies, they will be at
Windy City Smokeout, August 4th or 5th.
No, the 4th.
Or the 6th or the 7th. I
know they're performing. Check the website. You can get your tickets now. You can follow them at Mike and the Moonpies, and you're going to love this episode.
Also, they have really cool merch, but don't buy the green hat because I have to buy the green hat first. Okay, thanks. Bye. What's your favorite, like, sweet tooth, like, kind of go-to snack or top 3 if you have a couple?
Man, first off, I don't really like moon pies.
Oh, okay.
Kind of gross. I don't know. I'm like old school, man. I'm like Snickers, Kit Kat kind of dude, like Mr. Goodbar, dude, like just straight like peanuts and chocolate. Like I'm a simple man when it comes to candy.
Yeah. No, Snickers are always clutch because they satisfy your hunger, and if you're pissed off and need to fill up your tummy, Snickers has got your back.
My favorite is Kit Kat, so I agree.
Dude, Kit Kats are great. I mean, like Snickers are great for me because generally I'm not going anywhere for a while.
Have you ever talked to the guys about changing your name to Mike and the Snickers or Mike and the Kit Kats?
We've talked about a lot of name changes, but those no more snack references, I think.
So how did the Moonpies eventually come to be?
I started it in 2007 as we were doing like country covers from the 90s, and we started doing, we were doing like 4-hour dance hall sets all the time. And the Moonpie thing just kind of hit like kind of the right mood of what we were doing. That Tracy Bird song, it's like Lifestyles of the Not So Rich and Famous. Yeah. He does like that. He references R.C. Cole and a moon pie. And like we were kind of playing like a lot of those 90s country covers from that time period. So I kind of thought that it would sell what we were doing a little bit.
Yeah.
And people remember it, but we're not like really into the name.
I mean, well, we love it. Like it's fun and like it's catchy to say too, because you're like, oh, who's playing today? Mike and the Moonpies. Mike and the what? It's like who? So it definitely like catches your ear. And then like going back to I guess the beginning, you said you started off as a cover band and you're playing in a couple of honky tonks. Were you playing in like a honky tonks as in when I think of honky tonks, I picture Roadhouse and Patrick Swayze and like those kind of bars where the bouncer won't just kick you out. They'll like stomp your face in and beat you up. Or am I picturing the completely wrong place?
No, I mean, that's right. There's a few of them like that. Like, I've seen a lot of good bar fights, I've done a chicken wire show where they put chicken wire in front and people throw stuff at you. So we were doing some of those, and then we were doing like the traditional dance hall thing, like the Broken Spoke in Austin, and there's a lot of old halls in Texas that are like legendary. They used to have like a dance on Sundays or something like that once a week or once a month, and there was kind of at that time in 2009, 10, there was a big revitalization, like Save the Texas Dance Halls. So like Asleep at the Wheel would do it one night and Dale Watson would do it one night and we would do it one night. You know what I mean? There was kind of a few bands that were just making that dance hall circuit around Texas. So we were doing a lot of those really old halls where they only have one concert a month or something like that, and it was just full. It just people come out just to dance. They bring their whole family and that kind of thing.
I'm jealous because those are usually our types of favorite spots. Like we love dives, we love hole in the walls, where people there's either dollar bills on the wall or people are signing it with their names, and like those are the best because there's just so much history to it.
Well, yeah, man, and around here, we're saturated with them. We started out at literally a place called Hole in the Wall. Like that was our first. We had a Monday night at midnight for like 3 years. What? I can't even imagine starting a show at midnight on a Monday now. But I mean, like Hole in the Wall, the place here in Austin called the White Horse is where we moved to after that, and we would just do them as residencies, man. So we would be there. Every Thursday we're at this place, every Wednesday we're at this place, every month, everything was a residency for 3 or 4 years.
What's so you said you played like chicken wire shows and all that. I guess back in that time period, like the early years, the beginning years, like what's a story or like a weird event that occurred while you guys were playing, or maybe even just the venue itself where like you're like, I can't believe we actually had a successful show like at this particular place?
Well, pretty much all of them back then were that way. I mean, like I said, we've seen a lot of bar fights. I mean, I've seen a guy get, what we used to do during bar fights was my favorite thing is we would never stop. So like we would try to find a themed song. Like one time, this guy had, I'll tell you one. One time a guy had a heart attack in the middle of the dance floor. And we weren't stopping, but the firemen came to like get this guy in a cot, like firemen and EMS. And we played The Fireman by George Strait, like while it was all happening. I mean, we always tried to just keep on going. And I got asked for like, all kinds of weird, can you make announcements about some guy just had a heart attack? He needs, does anybody have this medication or whatever, all kinds of weird, weird things like that. And that would happen all the time, man. It was great. Sometimes it still does.
Yeah. So are you guys still based in Austin?
Yeah, we say that. I mean, nobody in the band, kind of during the COVID time, everybody went their separate ways. I mean, a bunch of guys moved back down to South Texas where they're from. I've got a place in Liberty Hill, which is about an hour and a half north. So I think only one guy actually lives in proper Austin now. Okay. But we do our bus calls and stuff in Austin and New Braunfels, and we're all still local. We all still meet here to leave.
What was going on with Mike and the Moonpies when COVID hit and you weren't allowed to leave your house? Like, where were you guys? Where was the band, and what was going on?
We were, everybody, like I said, kind of went back home. So I stayed here at my house. Those guys went down to South Texas. We were coming off the road we had done, I don't know, 250 dates that year. Like it was kind of a welcome break to me. We were about to go to Europe and that got canceled. We were about to go to Europe like 2 weeks after the shutdown. Oh, wow. So everything just killed it for us. So we were kind of working on that Gary Stewart record before COVID started. And so at that point we all just ordered, like I bought this laptop I'm on now and like some new microphones and stuff for the house, and everybody bought like a home recording rig. And we kind of just spent all that time, everybody recording stuff for that record and then sending it back to each other. And then everybody was just kind of working on their houses, dude. I mean, I've remodeled my entire house, and Zach, our steel player, built a place. I mean, we all just kind of, figured out who we were again for a minute.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you got to stay busy somehow.
Yeah, dude. It was great, actually.
So compared to like the years of on the road to the year of COVID or year and a half, whatever, songwriting in particular, did you happen to write like 300 more songs than usual, or did you keep busy like doing other things and kind of write the same amount, or like how is that?
I definitely wrote more. I don't really write on the road, so it's hard for me to do that. So I generally write at home anyway. But it was kind of a flip for me. I guess then he was 4. I guess he's 3. He was 3.5, 4. My little son was about that time. So I was spending a lot of time with him like during the day, and I kind of would come out to my little studio like where I am right now to write at night. But I definitely, my songwriting process changed, and I was thinking about different stuff obviously, but I spent a lot more time reworking things. Like I spent a lot of time over evaluating the songs that I was writing. Okay. So I maybe wrote a little bit less to the same amount, but I was really concentrating on perfecting them more. You know, most of the time I would write, I'd get it in a spot where I was pretty happy with it. We would go in the studio and work out the rest of it. But here I'm writing and I'm listening to it again and again and again, and I'm changing everything. So I think I just spent more time on about the same amount of songs.
Gotcha. Okay. So yeah, you're just like I guess earlier before you would perfect your craft in the studio with the band, but now you're just perfecting your craft alone and then you pitch it to the guys.
I came into the record process for the One to Grow On record with much more thought out ideas and songs. You know what I mean? I had about the same amount of songs, but I'd spent a lot more time getting exactly what I wanted out of them.
Now, have you always been a writer? Like at a young age, were you just writing continuously, or like when did writing music start to become like a real thing for you?
When I was a kid, when I was, like 10 years old, 10 to 14, I was trying to write, and I was writing, I was listening to 90s country, I was writing stuff like that. And after that, when I moved to Austin in 2002, I kind of slowed down on the writing thing and started working on just learning how to make records. And I didn't really write for a few years. And then once I kind of got that out of my system about having like the studio, I had a home studio and I had little bands coming in and recording stuff like that. And then I got back into writing because I was kind of tired of that. I wanted to play more. So I got back into writing and I fell right back into where I was before, where I was writing kind of the 90s, 80s country feel stuff. And so I kind of built the band based on just the songs that I had started writing again. But since then, since 2007 or so, I mean, I've just been constantly writing.
Do you to be honest, I had a question and it completely left my brain. You're talking about you don't write on the road, you only write at home. Do you just write in your studio, or do you is there a place that like you might walk to like around your house that kind of gets you in the mood to write, or does an idea pop up and then you go into the studio and start writing? Like how does the actual process work when that idea comes to you?
Yeah, it's usually like an idea or a hook will pop into my head, and I'll usually make a voice memo over my phone or something like that. It happens a lot to me at night, and I'll be in bed and have to wake up and record a voice note or something like that, and then I'll try to flesh that idea out later in the studio. And I like writing out here. I like writing in my house when no one's there, but that's hardly ever the time in my house where there's no one there. So, I mean, I would prefer to do it, more freewheeling and just whenever it comes across. But, I'm married with a kid and have all of these things going on here. So it's hard to do it like I used to, where it was just like, man, I could sit down at any moment that I got the idea and flush out this song. But now it's more like I have to have the idea and then I'll carve out some time sometime down the line to finish it up.
What's so far that you guys have out? What's your favorite song that you've written?
Man, it changes all the time. I mean, right now, Hour on the Hour probably is, I think, the best song that I've written right now. I mean, Steak Night's probably my favorite song, my favorite songwriting that I've done. But just the Hour on the Hour thing for me is my favorite song, with the production of it and the way that it came out exactly how I wanted it in my head. So I think that's the most that's my favorite song that's come to a total fruition of what it's got everything. It's got everything that I wanted in the bridge. Like, I don't know, everything that I imagined about that song came out the way I wanted it to. But as far as just songwriting itself and the idea of the song, probably Steak Night at the Prairie Rose is my favorite one, because I think it's the most true encompassing of my life song that I've, the most honest song I think I've ever written.
Is that easier for you, like to write instead of like trying to, I guess, like make up a story and I guess like trying to portray with what you're saying with like other characters or something, and then compared to strictly like writing from the heart and like your emotions? Like, do you think writing like honestly or honesty is easier than trying to make up a story and elaborate what you're feeling? If that was a terrible question and it didn't make any sense.
You. Yeah, I didn't know if I had to call an ambulance for you or me.
I know. I was listening to that. I think you know what I'm trying to say. I
got you, man. The honesty songwriting thing it just comes faster. Like, okay. I mean, like, I like songs that I can write in under 5 minutes. You know what I mean? Like, songs that I don't really have to think about or get on Rhyme Zone and look up rhymes for some word or or, I have a book of idioms that I just sometimes just like flip through an idiom book and see what I can make out of a couple of those, and those are where I'm like struggling to make a story out of. But the ones that are just like, I'm speaking about what I know, those songs come out faster. They write themselves. You know what I mean? So to me, that's kind of, I lean that way just because I don't know if it's easier. But I don't know. The ideas just come a little bit quicker to me than I'm trying to write one right now that's completely a farce, like just a storyline about like some guy running from the DEA or something, right? But like I'm having a lot of trouble with that because I never run from the DEA.
Right, not yet.
Yeah, not yet. So I'm trying to figure out, I'm trying to write a movie in my head, so it's a lot easier, I guess, for me, to just write what I know.
If you could be a fly on the wall and you could listen to 3 musicians, artists, songwriters put a song together themselves, so these 3 artists are working on one song, who would you want to like listen to and hear how their brains work?
Jerry Jeff Walker. Just because I don't know how he just something happens to him where it just naturally, I don't know, man, he could just say whatever's on top of his head and it sounded cool or had some sort of deeper meaning or something. I don't know. So Jerry Jeff Walker, Willie Nelson, because the same thing with him. He says that he never has sat down to write a song. Like I'm going to sit down and write a song today. It's just, it just like kind of comes to him. Okay. Exactly. It just happens to him.
Wow.
So that one. And then, I don't know. I'd really like to see, Tom York write a song. I'd really like to see how Radiohead does that. Or Wilco or something like that. Like Jeff Tweedy would be a good one too. Sorry, that's 4.
No, I mean, that's okay. Rules are made to be broken, so it's fine. I don't take it as offense. That'd be an interesting room.
Yeah,
Jerry Jeff Walker, Tom York, Willie Nelson, and Jeff Tweedy. That's a dream room, dude.
There would be a lot of smoke in that room, even just from one of those guys. You know what I mean? You'd be like, wait, hang on, I can't see one of them.
Right? Who is that over there?
You're swimming through it.
Exactly. It's ironic though, because at Smokeout, you're going to be sharing the stage with Mr. Willie Nelson. So that's crazy.
Yeah, that's right. He's going to be there too, man. It's cool.
What experiences, I guess, have you had in Chicago, if any?
I did a few years ago, man, quite a few years ago. We opened for The Departed at Joe's on Weed, which I think that was a pretty rad show. Like that was my first time, I think, in Chicago. I'm pretty sure. And I think that was the first show because I think famously Ragweed played like their last show ever, I think maybe at Joe's or something like that, something close to their last show. And I think this show that I was on with Cody Cannon and Departed was the first show for Cody to be back in that room since that last show. So it was a really, it seemed like a pretty special night for those guys as well. So that was a really awesome experience. And I love Chicago, dude. I mean, I'm a Wilco fanatic, dude. So I'm like all about it. And then I've done Fitzgerald's once or twice, maybe. A little bar outside of town. Like Reckless Kelly does it a lot, and I'm friends with some of the people that are running that place. So, dude, I don't know. We just have a great time in Chicago, dude. I've never had a bad night in Chicago.
Do you prefer performing like I look at it as like 2 different seasons. Like there's festival season and then inside venue season, which is just a regular concert. So do you prefer festivals or do you prefer venues, or is it kind of a mix of both?
It's a mix of both. I like doing festivals, but generally I find I like doing festivals because of the social aspect of it. Like there's more, we have other friends that are playing festivals. Festivals are like kind of a musician reunion. It seems like all the time. Like that's what I dig about it is I get to see people I don't see all the time. So people that we don't play shows with all the time. And I like having built-in festival crowds too. That's a
nice.
Great aspect of festivals. But I mean, my bread and butter, at least with this band, is like club shows and Like we play, we're a country band, but I just want to play rock bars, dude. Like I want to play like little square black boxes with 300 people in them. Like that's kind of where we really shine.
Well, and I feel
that's
like
what I was gonna ask next is like the size, like the like do you prefer the smaller, more intimate, or the bigger one?
I like mid-range venues, like any like 3 to 800 is like a really cool night. Yeah, I mean, like it just because I want people like right up on the stage. I want people like really up front. It's hard to do a show like I have to do like we just played Billy Bob's here in Fort Worth, and like it's a huge room. It's like 6,000 capacity room.
Whoa.
But like it's seated, so there's people sitting. It's hard to get reciprocation from a crowd when you're in a big room, or if people are sitting down, or
and they're all just sitting the whole time.
Well, I mean, but as you feed off their energy, so that would make complete sense.
Yeah, man, it's I love doing, like I say, I love doing rock clubs just because there's nothing there but a stage and the band. You know what I mean? Like it's just I have full undivided attention. I don't have it's not a sports bar. There's not TVs everywhere. Like I just like very sterile rooms that we can do whatever we want to in.
Where people get loud, sweaty, and drunk, and
that's it.
Yeah, exactly. Will you do me a favor? And I hope you say yes when you are here in Chicago at Windy City Smokeout. Can you please tell me that these are going to be available for purchase?
Yes. I think both of them will be. Definitely the Rooster one. I just sold out last week of the green one.
No, that's the one I want.
I'm ordering more.
Okay, good. I love the green one.
I love the Rooster one. I love the colors. The Rooster on it alone. I mean, we have our Rooster back here.
Go to my angle.
No, we can't see it.
Can't see. I'll get it.
Yeah, he's our mascot. This is Indy. We take him to the Indy 500 every year down in Indy.
Awesome.
So we go to the 500 and we just get drunk and are idiots for like 4 days, and that's kind of like our vacation. But like this year, we all signed the cup and
everyone who was a part of it. It was great.
That's not gonna stand.
We played back home again in Indiana. Well, we put the cup back. And so the cup stays on his head until we get down to the Indianapolis 500. And then
the next year, yeah.
And then we take it off for the first day for like an hour.
Yeah.
And then we all chug a beer and then slam a new cup that we sign on his head while playing back home again in Indiana. It's a really weird thing that we were like, this is very specific, and this is how we're gonna do it. And we've done it for the past couple of years.
Dude, I'm down with the ritual, man.
Yeah.
Hey, the Moonpies need to go to the Indy 500. You guys would kill it there.
Yeah.
I would love to do that, man.
Perform on top of an RV,
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Sign me up, man. That's right up my alley.
Do you guys have like a pre-show ritual or anything?
Not really. We try to all drink the same amount before.
What's your go-to? Like, what are you drinking before a show? And what are you drinking after a show? Is it the same thing?
I definitely like tequila before the show.
Yes.
I kind of drink. I like tequila all the time. After the show, man, it's kind of anything goes, dude. Like I'm always like thinking about what I'm drinking before a show, so I try to like keep it somewhat in around. There's a perfect spot, okay, where it's like 3 beers and 2 tequilas or something like that. I mean, those numbers I'm just coming up with, but there's a perfect spot there where you can get. So I'm always trying to maneuver my way through a pre-show drink. But then after, dude, you get your adrenaline going and you'll just, you start whatever it is, you end up taking random shots with whatever. If somebody wants to buy me a drink, buy me a shot after a show, I usually let them pick whatever it is. You know what I mean? Like I'll drink anything, which now that I mention things in songs like Fernet or Silver Tequila, it's usually about 3 things that I know they're going to choose because it's us.
I'm glad it was silver. I can't drink gold tequila.
No, I can't drink gold. What's the other one?
What, tequila?
Yeah, isn't there
Reposado? There's
But
Reposado and Añejo.
That one's very smooth. I feel like for shots, I prefer the silver.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I can't drink.
Yeah. I mean, I can't do reposado for that. But what do you drink beer?
Yeah, I switch between Miller and Coors, light beers.
Yeah.
We used to drink Lone Star here in Texas all the time, dude. But now I look at a Lone Star Red heavy, and I just can't do it, man. Like,
yeah,
I used to only drink Miller Lite because my dad drank Miller Lite, and I was like a Miller Lite guy. And then a couple of guys like Catlin and Zach in the band joined the band, and they were strictly Coors. So it got easier to put in a rider, a case of Coors Light than it was like a case of Miller, which now we kind of do whatever we want. But for that time period, it was like, we'll just drink Coors Light.
Yeah.
Have you, an artist we were talking to showed us this. Have you ever had a Miller with a lime?
I've never had a Miller Lite with a lime. That I could probably do that though. I might try that.
Changer.
It's a game changer for sure. All right. It's incredible.
Well, I might do that right after this is over.
There you got your tequila and lime, and you got a Miller and lime.
Yeah, lime and anything, man.
It all works out.
Yeah, high school. I used to always
high school.
Well, in high school, I would steal Miller Lights from my parents. So by the time I was 21, I only drank Coors. Because I was like, I don't even want to look at a Miller Lite. I had made so many bad decisions on Miller Lite that I was like, no, but now I'm back on Miller Lite. I can't even drink a Coors. So
yeah, I'm still switching back and forth. What I've been drinking lately, I've been drinking White Claw on ice, dude. Just like it's so hot here. Okay, it's really hot here. So White Claw on ice seems to be the most refreshing thing I can drink during the day. That and like a ranch water, tequila, soda.
Oh, ranch waters. Oh my God. Ranch waters are life.
Yeah.
I wish I lived in Texas just so I knew I could get ranch waters anywhere.
Well, and I just recently had White Claw on ice like 2 weeks ago because I had never thought I was just like, oh, I got to drink this warm. We were like outside and I was like, we just loaded them into the cooler. I was like, I got to drink this warm. And then I was like, someone was like, just put it on ice. And I was like, I've never ever thought that was even an option to do that. Like you just like opened my mind to like so many possibilities.
It's great, man. I'll make a vodka Red Bull. Let's say I'll start with a vodka Red Bull in like a Yeti cup. And then I'll get down to the bottom of that where there's a little bit of vodka Red Bull on the bottom and I'll just pour a black cherry White Claw on top of it. Man, we're so refreshing.
I'm going to have to start doing that. I love some vodka Red Bulls. So.
There you go, man.
Anything.
I do. I like anything that's open, like or already poured.
Within reaching distance.
Yeah, just like.
So who of the band has the best, I guess, longevity when it comes to drinking?
Man, me. I don't know.
All right, better question. Who thinks they have longevity?
Probably Omar. I would say the bass player. I don't know. He can drink. I mean, he's the reason I say that he's like the youngest guy. So he's the newest. Now our drummer is new, but he can drink some beer. That dude can put down some beer. He's a little guy. He's smaller than me almost, and he can put down some beer. But I would say that since Omar's the youngest, he's had the least amount of practice. I mean, we're all pretty veteran. We're all pretty veterans of it.
I believe it. What happens at like a frat house when like there's an incoming freshman and they have to do something to join the frat? Like what's that?
Hazing?
No, not hazing.
No, I'm like that's illegal.
Not hazing.
Like pledging or something like that.
Oh, pledging.
Yeah, like I feel like when there's new moon pies, they have to eat a moon pie and then maybe like shotgun a beer all within a minute.
There's definitely like when there's a new guy, there's only really ever been two new guys.
Right. Right.
But there's definitely like that first weekend is we go extra hard just to see how it's all going to play out.
Yeah. So we got a rookie. We got to see if
we got to find out who they really are.
Okay. So we talked about Chicago. We talked about drinking. Have you ever had a shot of Malort?
Oh God.
Oh yeah. Yeah, man. I've played we were in Wisconsin Dells for 8 days. And those guys, I love those guys there, but they tried to give us everything they could throw at us. You know what I mean? We did Malort for the first time. I met a guy with a Malort tattoo. That's who turned me on to Fernet. Actually, was in the Dells. They turned me on to Fernet. I mean, they tried everything, and we drank it all. What's the little like? It's a little thing in a paper. It's like a little bitty bottle, but it's got like a brown paper.
Oh, the shooters.
Yeah, those things. We did a bunch of those.
Man. Yeah, shooters are dangerous. Malort tastes like pickles and wet socks in a jar. For my opinion.
There was definitely like a aspect of like some sort of cleaning supplies in it.
That's the other thing. So the other day we cracked open a bottle of Malort, and
everybody fainted.
Yeah, everyone was like, it's like mixing bleach and ammonia together. But
that probably tastes better than Malort, to be honest.
Only for a little bit, and then you lose consciousness. And then so we opened that up, and I was like, why do I know that smell? And then I opened up the Clorox wipes, and it's the exact same smell. So next time you're like around, like be like, give me a second, and anyone got Clorox wipes, like try it, because don't drink it, but like just smell it next to each other, because they are the exact same smell.
All right, I'll do the Pepsi challenge on that.
Yeah.
Speaking of clean, watch this transition. You guys might be the cleanest dressed band group we've ever talked to, and I'm speaking specifically of like your Spotify cover album photo.
There's a lot of stuttering. I'm gonna give that a 7 out of 10.
I mean, but like, look, like.
No, I know. I'm talking about your transition.
I can't talk. I shouldn't be hosting a podcast. But where did you get all these clothes? Because I would like to know, selfishly, and also your sunglasses. I don't know what they're called or what brand, but like the rectangular big ones. I'm obsessed. So where can I get those?
Okay, so the shirts and stuff like that. Like I do a lot of Etsy surfing. Okay, like a lot of eBay, Etsy resale stuff. I found a website recently called Rusty Zipper. They have a lot of awesome, like those kind of like brush popper shirts are kind of coming hot again right now, like the one I'm wearing. So you can find a bunch of stuff like that there. My jeans, I have my jeans custom tailored. My wife does a lot of my tailoring here on those jeans too. And the sunglasses are Ray-Ban Wings 2.
Ray-Ban Wings 2?
Yeah, there's two types of wing. There's Ray-Ban Wings, and then there's Ray-Ban Wings 2. The 2 are the ones that are like the rectangle ones.
Gotcha.
Okay. All right. So 2 days ago, we had the day off, and we went to a Rangers game, and I thought that I lost I woke up the next morning, and I thought, man, I've lost those glasses. And I've been wearing those glasses like in everything for a year and a half, maybe. And like I searched all over the Sprinter for them and in the hotel room, and I couldn't find them. So I finally ordered a brand new pair, and 5 minutes later, dude, I found those glasses. So now I have 2 pairs.
Oh, hell yeah. That's awesome. All right. Well, if you see us at Smokeout and we're wearing the same exact thing as you are, don't be mad at us.
No, that's cool, man. That's cool. My tour managers, the first time that I had it, my tour manager's like, man, I got to get me a pair of those glasses. Like, the hell you will, dude. This is my thing.
You need to make like a not counterfeit, but pretty much counterfeit, and then sell them on your shop.
That's a great idea. I'll just have a whole wardrobe made that you can buy. It's like you can buy like the Parker McCollum like gold chain and
yeah, that's right. Yeah,
I'll have the same idea with those shades.
Exactly. I think it would be perfect, and I think you'd make millions.
Yeah, I hope so.
I'd see if those hats aren't available, I'm gonna be so mad.
Well, I know the one I want is, so I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, I got a good feeling about it. I think you're gonna be satisfied.
Okay, I trust you. I'll trust you.
Okay.
I'll trust you. If not, I might just come on stage and, but not really, because then I'd get murdered.
Bring it on.
Mr. Mike, it's been amazing talking to you. We are very much looking forward to seeing you at Smokeout. One more question. Can you tell me how like The Way came about?
Yeah. So we, like I said, we had that Monday night gig at that place called The Hole in the Wall in Austin. And we did that for a really long time. And they had their 45th anniversary of that club. And they wanted to do a 45 split record with another band that also started at that club. And the other band that started at that club was the band Fastball, who originally cut that song. So I used to love that song when it was hot. I remember that video very well. And like, I don't know, that was a huge song. And I never thought that we would ever do that. But we cut that song, and then another guy cut another song from somebody else that also came up. I can't remember that backstory. So there's a really cool 45 split of it's like the Hole in the Wall 45th anniversary. And it's got us doing that and this other guy doing another one. And then ever since then, the guys from Fastball have been hitting me up and trying to give me more. Like I've been writing some songs or something like that. You know what I mean? And Fastball still tours and they're making records. But he sends me all these songs and they're always like, drank whiskey. My wife left me, just very bottom of the barrel.
Right.
I guess, whatever they assume that I would want to sing about or something like that. So we haven't cut any more Fastball songs since that one. But The Way has been huge for us, man. I mean, it's like one of our top streaming songs. It plays on the radio here in Austin all the time. It's crazy.
Yeah. You guys absolutely kill it. And that's,
well, thanks, man. I didn't expect it to come off the way that it did. I mean, I'm very happy with the way that it came out. But at first, when we were first going to cut it, I was like, I don't know how this is going to make any sense. So I'm glad that it translated.
That song, and then like every single other of your songs, it's like listening to you guys. It's impossible to sit still. It's like you gotta move somehow, some way to your music, and that's what I love about you guys. That's what I love about the Mike and the Moonpies.
Well, thanks, man. Yeah, that was our job when we started, was keeping a dance floor full. So I guess we're still doing that.
And congratulations on your Opry debut. I'm probably going to get the date wrong, but I think it's September 6th or 9th.
Yeah, you nailed it. That's it.
Oh my God. 6th? Yeah. Cut out the 9th part?
Yeah, the 6th.
Congratulations. I know that's like a huge, huge thing for artists. So congratulations on that. And then the last thing I have is, can you, the sign behind you, what is that? Because it looks old and vintage and it looks awesome.
It's a sign from Gillies in Pasadena, which was Mickey Gillies' club where they did Urban Cowboy, where they filmed that movie.
Okay.
It's no longer there. That place is so legendary. I was telling somebody about it. I did like a school book report on that club when I was in like 5th or 6th grade, man. It's always been like, this like huge thing and to me. And we used to love the Urban Cowboy movie, and I still do, but it's a big Gillies, and that whole thing was a big influence on what we did when we started and what we do now.
Awesome.
That's
That's awesome. Well, again, thank you so much for your time. You can find Mike and the Moonpies at Mike and the Moonpies on Instagram. They'll be at Smokeout August 4th. And yeah, man, thank you for your time.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It was a good time, man.
Till next time.
Yeah, y'all be good.